let's freaking party, dude. Welcome to an ep of history as Dank, dude. We're just posted up right now at a pool party, dude, at the W in Hollywood. I mean, you guys, do you feel at home, dude? Chad and JT, Legends guest today, dude. What up?
Dude, I feel chic. That's how I feel right now. Chic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be demure and say that, this isn't normal for me, but I feel very comfortable in these surroundings.
Exactly.
I came out of the womb in a pool party. My parents actually had me at the Standard in L.A.
That makes complete sense.
My mom popped me out in the jacuzzi.
And you were conceived at a different pool party.
At a different Standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one in Miami.
Yeah.
By the marina.
Oh, that's a great one, dude.
Yeah, my dad plugged my mom there. And he said he knew instantly. Put a little Red Bull baby in her.
Dude, that's just so legendary, dude. Dude, my dad, when my mom hooked up with my dad, dude, my dad's like me. He's a finesse bottom. And my mom was just, and it's, this is coming out right after Mother's Day, so shout out to the moms, dude. Thanks for hooking up with our dads.
Love you,
us.
Mom. Thank you.
Legends. And yeah, dude, my dad was all, because I'm the fourth of five. My dad was like, I don't know if I can handle another. My mom kind of grabbed my dad's throat and was like, let's do this. Let's go for it. So
I love that.
Yeah, really took agency. Yeah.
When did you find out your dad was a finesse bottom?
I walked in on them early on. Like I was always been a wanderer. That's kind of why I like history. I'm curious.
You're a searcher.
Yeah, I'm a searcher, and I heard a noise from upstairs, and it was a noise like and I walked in. It was my father making that noise.
Did that inform the way that you engage in coital activities?
I think so. They do say that your mannerisms, with adoptive children, your mannerisms and the way you carry yourself is biological. So you won't adapt. Like if you have an adoptive father, you don't copy their mannerisms of what you see. It's genetic.
Oh, I was wondering about that the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what if my dad wasn't my bio father? Would I still be a lot like him just because of the time we spent together and because of the, the dynamic? But that's good to know that it would be different.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen you bone. And,
yes.
And I've talked about this before. You're not a finesse bottom.
You think I have some power?
You're like a jackhammer bottom. I don't know if that's like the technical phrase for it, but I walked in on you because you left all the doors open.
Yeah, I'm a sick fuck.
In our small apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and according to JT, you're very vocal.
Yeah, you were loud.
I didn't even know. I was so in the zone. I was like inverted. This is with Top Gun. I was inverted and just so in it. For me, sound dropped out. It was like in Saving Private Ryan when the grenade goes off. And he's like just taking in all that. That's how
concussed.
I am. Yes, that's how I am making love. I knew no noise was coming from me.
Dude, speaking of history, too, I don't know if, in my family, the custom is when you're born, you put the baby onto you give the baby a fudgesicle and some shades, and you put them onto a water slide.
Oh, really?
That's our baptism.
Dude, that's a great tradition.
Yeah.
That needs to spread like wildfire. That needs to spread more than regular baptisms, dude.
Yeah, my little board shorts and just shoom.
And the priest.
So chill.
Yeah.
Father Dorian.
Yeah, dude. I wonder if priests so you guys are wearing pants by the pool right now, dude. If priests are hanging out in shorts, I'm wearing shorts today. I took a little bit of a risk.
I hung out with a priest on a fishing boat one time. And
really?
He was in swim trunks drinking a Coors Light.
Whoa.
And at one point, someone was like, "You want another beer?" He's like, "Why not?" And I was like, "Whoa." I was like, "You're cool, huh?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm the cool priest." You could tell he was he knew he was deviating from people's expectations. He's like, "Yeah, I feel pretty badass in this moment. I'm gonna let people know."
That's freaking rad.
Dude, the principal of my elementary school, Father Vaughn, there were always murmurs that he would party. And then we had a graduation party. I was in 6th grade, but we had a graduation party, and Father Vaughn comes in, hammered, and just runs to the middle of the dance floor, and he's just so happy, and he's just in the middle of the dance floor doing that disco move. I was like, oh, because he's so stern. He was our grammar teacher, and he's like, you don't say I don't know. You say I don't recall. Very strict.
Yeah.
But that was the only time I ever saw him let loose, and it was pretty profound. Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's cool.
It's also interesting this priest has good lingo for denying stuff. He's like, you just say I don't recall. If they come at you about something, dude, where were you?
Even if it's something that you would probably recall.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't recall. But dude, speaking of, priestly stuff and shenanigans and boning and me leaving the doors open and being in this beautiful ass pool rooftop at the W in Hollywood, I selected a topic for today's episode, which is Hollywood gossip, dude. Dude,
Big shout out to Dadgrass, dude. Dadgrass knows you get by with a little hemp from a friend, dude. They've partnered with the George Harrison Estate to create a new CBD and CBG blend called All Things Must Grass, which pays tribute to the man who always let the good times roll. I'm all about that, dude. And Dadgrass is all about, dude, just, giving you that nice little mellow buzz, an acceptable, legit buzz. It's just going to increase that mood and not take it too far like a lot of, marijuana products can. But all Dadgrass products are federally legal for ages 21 plus. They ship anywhere in the U.S., dude. They offer listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/dank. That's dadgrass.com/dank for 20% off your first order.
People love to gossip. You know what I mean? I like to say I don't. I like to say, look, bro, I'm going to hit you with the truth and all this stuff. But I get a little salacious tidbit. We like it.
I love to gossip. And sometimes I have to be careful to not say things on camera that are purely conjecture.
You're right.
But when you hear something juicy, you just want to let it rip.
It's the best. And old Hollywood, there's two figures in old Hollywood. And I figure we'll do a little bit about this and then just dive into, the juice that we like today and maybe stuff we've heard. But you got Louella Parsons and Hedda Hopper, dude. These are two ladies, different paths, and they both to writing these gossip columns, dude. So Louella Parsons was backed by William Hearst, dude, the dude of Hearst Castle, super billionaire, newspaper guy, dude. And Louella Parsons hustled, bro. She was born in the Midwest, and both of them were born in the 1880s, but you can't really check their birth dates because they lied about it. And which makes sense. And this is classic Hollywood where you get aged out of stardom. They want young starlets and stuff. Mm-hmm. And but these ladies just had talented, and they both hustled and grinded, dude. And Louella Parsons she came from the Midwest, dude. She was always interested in being a screenwriter. She was a good, strong writer, and was an editor at a newspaper in her hometown. Then went to college. Lived in New York. Lived in Chicago. While in Chicago, she knew that stars would be on a flight back from New York to LA, and they had to take the layover in Chicago. And she's like, "That's my 2 hours. I'm going to start interviewing stars there." And it sort of put her on the map. Caught Hearst's attention, dude, and she cruises out. They become really kind of in cahoots, and there's a conspiracy theory about why, in 1924, this director Hearst wanted this director to work on a project of his. And apparently there was this yacht party, and they were canoodling. And the theory is that Hearst murdered this dude for getting a little handsy with his wife on a yacht. But they're he just had a heart attack. And what was sketchy is the body was actually cremated. So people are oh, and they're why does Hearst back Louella Parsons so much? Why? It could have been anyone. You know what I mean? But she was a good writer, and remember JT saying if there's any conspiracy theory, you choose not to believe it. Is that true?
Yeah, for the most part.
It's
it's kind of fun. It's kind of more fun for me to go the other way because everyone's like, "Do you know this conspiracy? Do you know this conspiracy?" I'm like, "No, I just believe it happened exactly how people say it happened."
And it makes
to me that's more of a conspiracy.
Dude, exactly. You're
Yeah.
She was a good writer and did a good job and was on the payroll. Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's an Occam's razor thing too.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, the conspiracy is that he kept her on because he murdered.
Because she saw it.
Dude.
Sorry, because
she saw it.
Yeah, she
Okay.
witnessed it, and then she's like, "Look, I'm going to pay." And then she gets tuberculosis. He pays for her to go to Palm Springs to recover. She does recover. And people were like, "Why would he pay for that? That's super expensive and all this stuff." But oftentimes the most simple reason is that she's a good writer. She could still have her interns or assistants dictate what she was doing towards the end of her career anyway. And just made sense that she was a good writer.
I'm more inclined to believe stuff like that though, where it's not as far-reaching in terms of the levels of people in power involved. Mm-hmm. I know one time Ronald Reagan was in a debate, I think with Jimmy Carter, and he just destroyed him in the debate. I think he had a famous line where he goes, "There you go again, Jimmy." And for some reason that really put Jimmy in his place. But they had gotten their hands on Jimmy Carter's prep before the debate. And the three guys who people think are responsible for finding the papers all ascended in the Reagan administration. So I do kind of like those stories where it's what was the initial faithful deceit that someone made that created their upward trajectory in their career or something like that.
Dude, it is really interesting. And with Hedda Hopper, you have her trajectory is like she was an actress. She was very good looking. They say like the people like this article I would read, like this Vanity Fair article is like it would really knock on Louella Parsons, or like, yeah, she was kind of old. She lied about her age because she did get TB. Like she would have incontinence, so like she would like leave a party and like there'd be like she would like take a leak on the seat and stuff like that, and like that's just a health problem. But people that hated her would like really like I think someone came up and like kicked her chair at one party, and then people sent that guy like a gift because their gossip column, and we'll get more into that, controlled people's careers. Like, and they became, and the thing that takes it to the right now, and especially with Hedda Hopper, she was more moralistic. So she was like, she would really, if like a star was having an affair or sleeping with someone too young, they would like literally show up at their door, like knock on Charlie Chaplin's door or call and be like, Charlie, are you dating a teenager?
Yeah, he had
like,
a habit of that, right?
Yep. And they're like, I'll out you for this. And he'd be like, no. And like, they'd either have to pay him off
or do an exclusive or something like that.
Exactly right. In Louella Parsons, like a Hollywood hotel, like you better come in and do an interview. And if she hammered you in the interview, dude, they had 75 million readers. Louella Parsons was, yeah. And this is back in like the 20s, dude.
Yeah, when the population was like 150 or something.
Yeah, it was a third of the country, dude. It was a third, half the country actually was reading, because they were the first ones to get syndicated. LA Times was Hedda Hopper, and then the Los Angeles Examiner was Louella Parsons. And anyway, a little bit of brief about Hedda Hopper is she's an actress, gets some good roles. She like did this power move where she got cast in a silent film, and to outdo the main star, she spent all of her money. It was a bad investment because afterwards she didn't book any roles, and then it like the depression hit and she lost her savings and everything. But she spent $5,000 back in like 1918 or whatever, which is a shit ton of money, even today, and into like good outfits because it was a silent film and that's how you're gonna be on camera. And she wanted to outshine the star, and she did, and got her more roles. And but then, like I mentioned, she ended up losing her savings and stuff. But her acting kind of falls off. She gets a little bit older. She's at a party with somebody. This lady named I think it's Sissy Patterson, who's like is like one of the first main editors for a newspaper, female editors, and she just hears Hedda Hopper just talking about fashion and stuff, and remembered her from that role, and she's like, "You should write a fashion column in one of my papers." And she's like, "I can't even spell." She's like, "Don't worry, just call in on the phone. We'll have someone dictate it for you." She's like, "I like the way you speak. I like how you're direct." And it's like her acting background and shit because of that, because she has a theater background. And that's what she became known for, just like directly, succinctly, like summarizing and hammering people, dude.
Really? That's awesome.
And she was super Catholic, hated communists, was unfortunately homophobic. Both women were like very, very right-leaning, as was, most of the country back then, but like these like notoriously so. And so if they found out anything like that, like you were toast.
So they were saying like Rock Hudson was gay and stuff like that?
Bro, they would say all this type of stuff. Dude, one of their most famous ones was this lady Ingrid Pearson and Roberto Rossellini. Who's the old Italian director? Roberto Rossellini or some shit. Anyway, dude, she leaves her like accountant husband and moves to Italy to go with this guy. And she's an actress, but she played, one of her famous roles was like she played a nun and then played Joan of Arc. And who are very like pious and like, faithful people. And they loved, and this is what they're both known for, is like taking that Hollywood world, the behind the scenes, like juice and dirt, and then this like crystal clear, like presentable people. Like just because you're famous it meant you couldn't fuck up. And they really leaned into that.
Right.
And so it's pretty fucked up. And so they would basically like, what the interesting takeaway that I had is like this cancel culture of today that we have, and people are getting canceled for, legit reasons of like, if you're diddling kids, all that type of stuff, like, yeah, you're out. Yeah. But like, you have an affair, it's like, well, it's not good, but it doesn't mean your career needs to end. But that's literally what Hedda Hopper would do.
That's what they would.
Oh, bro, they would try to do it. They would really lean in on these people, and that was like, she ended up getting hammered for that, and what's her name, Ingrid Pearson, and all that type of shit.
There's always a moral component to gossip, right? It's how we kind of agree on what our values are. That's what we had this Agnes Collard, this anthropologist, on, and she was saying that's like the benefit of gossip, is that when you're gossiping with someone else, you guys are both, like the subtext is you're kind of communicating what you think are the proper values someone should have and who you think is outside those values. So gossip's kind of sick that way.
It can be sick, but it's a double-edged sword, dude.
But it's not nice.
It's very not nice, and they're literally using it to get more money themselves and take people out of money. And there's what were you say?
Was there any dirt on them?
There is dirt, but they would
Yeah,
cancel it, bro. Both of them were married like 3 times. Louella Parsons lied that her husband, who did die in World War I, but they were divorced prior, but she wanted to have better credibility to be like, I lost a husband in World War I as well, even though they were divorced beforehand.
Right.
Dude, not
So
cool.
she not chill. So she leaned into that. Hedda Hopper changed her names like 3 times. She went to like a numerologist to get that like good sounding name. And
they landed on Hedda Hopper?
Yeah, she got that.
She got that from a numerologist? What is a numerologist?
That's a great question. I should have looked that up, but it's like, I don't know.
Somebody studies numbers?
Probably. And like,
Do you know?
yeah, fuck, dude. I don't know. Maybe someone at this pool party knows down there, dude. Maybe I feel like there's some people who are into numerology down at this pool party.
Yeah, for
If
sure.
You don't
you're
end up
day
at the
raging.
W. Yeah, if you don't end up at the W without having a sick name.
Dude, we're here during business hours, dude, and people are day raging. I mean, it's a Friday, so I guess, you know.
I totally
call it an
forgot
early work
about
week.
I totally forgot about this aspect of LA. Like I
Dude.
remember when I first moved here, I went to some pool parties, and the pool party side of LA, I like completely forgot about. I mean, I go to the beach and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
hotel rooftop pool party, I like, was out of my mind.
It's insane, and especially because it's Hollywood Boulevard.
Sorry for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I was missing a lot. Have you been pool party?
Yeah, I go once a week.
What?
Yeah.
You know, my
Oh,
pool.
I haven't told you guys.
Oh,
My apartment
shit.
complex has a pretty sick pool. And our
Dude, you
Pamela,
do?
the manager, she likes to use it. She's 70. And so she keeps it really nice. Because typically you see an apartment pool and you go, I'm never getting in that. I'm glad they have it.
Mm-hmm.
But this one it's well kept and it's pretty sick. You guys should cruise by. I can rent the rec room. We can play Pong.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I want
Let's
to
do
rage
it.
with Sonny, dude.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, Sonny can cruise around. He doesn't like the water, but I don't really go in the water that much.
Well, he's got a great face. He's got a great
A lot of character.
Yeah, he really like evokes positivity and.
Dude, he
cuddliness.
does. He does.
Yeah, he
He's
does.
fucking chill.
What happened to Hedda Hopper and Louella Parsons at the end?
So they develop a rivalry. At first,
Oh, they start beefing?
They beef because they have Louella Parsons for years was the only voice, and then she sees Hedda Hopper and she gets this like the L.A. Times and fucking she's just like she's not going to do anything. Like she's a former actress, she's not a writer, but she really started crushing it, and because she would really hustle for the juice, and she could use her acting connections to get the word first. So it became a race between them to get the word first. And then I kind of wanted to parlay this into like the advent of the paparazzi, who are the biggest schmoles in the world, dude. And so they would basically have like, they were called like Louella's minions or whatever. And literally it was like doctors, makeup stylists, like everybody on set. Hedda Hopper's kid ended up being in the what's that show? Perry Mason. He was like the other detective, Drake, his
Oh, nice.
counterpart. But people didn't like him because they're like, "Yo, we can't trust you. You're gonna tell your mom everything."
Oh,
But they had
that
to they had to fake it though, because if you were outwardly against either one of those women, they'd hammer you because they had this huge audience. They wielded this huge audience, and so they basically became rivals. They'd see each other at parties, but they both knew that rivalry was good business, so they leaned into it. Like they would like work together a little bit to like have like if Louella Parsons was going to be somewhere with Hedda Hopper, like they'd see each other and then Louella would like just leave, and they didn't know if she was leaning into that or actually upset.
It's like a rap beef almost.
Dude, 100%.
The only new thing is the history you don't know. That's what Harry S. Truman said.
Dude, that's fire.
But all this stuff, it reminds me, we're going through all these cycles over and over again.
It's where we're at now. It's like
Shams and Woj in the NBA with gossip. They race to be the first one to report something.
Mhm.
But they're making each other better. We get the info like lightning quick now.
right, dude, and it's also troublesome because with the Ingrid Pearson stuff, Louella Parsons said they were having a baby, and it wasn't confirmed. But she's like, I have this unimpeachable source that told me, and she literally took it to the grave with her. It's never been out, whoever her source was. Like she wouldn't give up her sources because those are her. That's how she makes her dough. And then she's like, they ended up having a baby, but she printed it like way before, like when it was unconfirmed.
And you're not supposed to do that. We know that now because we have friends who are having kids. You're very careful with that intel.
Totally, and just for the press and like a journalist, like what if she's wrong? Like you do that, like that's libel. They were always getting sued for libel and all that type of shit, but they were making so much bank. Like both of them like had huge mansions in Beverly Hills.
Fuck you.
Towards the end, I think they both made it to their 80s. Hedda Hopper ended up dying earlier because of pneumonia. Louella Parsons lived in like a retirement home and then had her assistant like writing her column for the past year, and like both of them went out in their 80s, which is a pretty good.
Yeah, gossip will keep
Good
you
run.
alive. because you're entertained, you're excited.
Big time, and you're hustling. And that's the thing, dude. Both of them hustled, but the fact that they were moralistic about it, I don't know if I love that. And
So is gossip always moralistic, though?
that's a great question. I mean, I think so. I think there's an element of like, man, I would never like. Can
Because you have to
believe-
judge someone.
Yes. Can you believe they did this?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think if like it is something that, and maybe your tone would change of like, hey man, did you hear about what's his name? Like maybe you're more empathetic towards it, but it's just gross sharing it. And like those other papers, like what are those things you see in like the checkout aisle at the fucking grocery store? Like you don't get that without
Tabloids.
the tabloids. All of that started because of these two ladies in old school Hollywood.
Interesting.
Dude, I used to love reading Us Weekly growing up. My mom had a subscription.
I read it
would
every
just
week.
Plow through that thing.
Dude, my mom got it too. I would read it every week. I was
amazing.
The Britney Spears stuff. I did 2003, 2004, like all
That's
of
when
that
I was
stuff.
reading it.
Dude, Jennifer Aniston, Brad Pitt,
Mm-hmm.
Angelina
Mhm.
Jolie. I was way into that stuff. But it seems like the paparazzi, it's all shifted now.
Now it's different.
Yeah.
This back in that era, it was like a studio system, so
Yeah.
they were in cahoots with the studio execs, and the studio execs liked that they were hammering these actors and making them be moralistic, because then they could like make them
Make deals with them
Yeah.
for better prices. and
100%.
stuff, Control them more.
exactly. So they were sort of on the shill or whatever it's called, the dole or whatever the fuck it is,
Right.
with the studio execs. But then in this, these ladies died in the 70s, maybe late 60s, early 70s, and then Hollywood shifted to like. I don't know. It went away from the studio model.
Well, today, I think a lot of the bigger names, they just hire their own paparazzi to control it. Like the Kardashians, they just have their own paparazzi.
Yeah, we don't
that
even.
they hire.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking we don't even need paparazzi anymore. Like Kanye West will just give you the gossip.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to read an article about like what Kanye West is up to. Like he'll just
Yeah.
social media, you're like streamlined straight into their like thoughts and feelings and experiences, and they're
100%.
just like kind of just be like, I'm gonna kill Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
there's
yes.
no like, hey, Kanye's upset about Pete Davidson. Like it's like, no, I know. Kanye told me. Like he literally told me and 100 million other people that he's fucking pissed.
Dude, the first like inkling of like the social media now is the stars are just like us column. You remember that?
I loved
stuff? Them just like grocery shopping. I think
Looking
that.
puffy at CVS.
Yeah, I remember seeing like Ryan Felipe and like Hayden Christensen. There's one like, look at Ryan Felipe busting a snot rocket. And I'm just
Yeah,
like, this
yeah.
he's just on a park bench.
Just being a regular human, like just Ben, like, and I do love those pictures of like the sad Ben Affleck pictures or whatever,
Oh,
dude.
dude, yeah.
And you talked about this. I like Ben Affleck,
He's
dude.
the man.
Yeah.
He's my hero.
Great director, guy's a legend, guy's jacked in his movies, dude. Makes good movies. Although Argo didn't love it, but legit, like, let's
You didn't
go.
love Argo?
Nah, I had one good scene. It
Yeah.
had the scene where
I
the guy's like,
agree.
"Ooh."
When the guy who's been against it the whole time jumps in and pretends like he's writing a movie for the Iranian like
Yeah.
Yeah.
National Guard or whatever. That scene does rip.
But Hollywood
I love
loves
Ben
movies about-
Affleck. I love
Same.
that. I love that he just lives his life unapologetically, although he apologizes for it a lot. But I love
Mm-hmm.
that he just fucks up and then always bounces back with good art.
That's my thing with gossip, where it's like, I think at least maybe as a culture we've progressed a little bit, where like, if you cheat on your wife, that's not good. We won't like you. You shouldn't do that. But probably your career's not going to get ended. Like, you
Nah.
can still go to work. Like, it's not a good thing. But
It's always
like,
with the nanny.
yeah, dude, right?
Why do they keep
right?
hiring hot nannies? It's like your husband's Jude Law or Gavin Rosdale, and you hire Smoke as the nanny.
Yeah, you
what do
can't
you think's
have
gonna
get an au
happen?
pair. Like,
fresh.
get the dude or whatever in there.
But then
like,
not to be even judgmental, but Arnold's nanny wasn't that hot, and he still put a baby in her. So maybe it doesn't matter. Is that
No.
gross? What I'm saying? What
no,
do you think?
no.
I don't really pay attention to it, but I thought it was the maid.
It is the
Yeah,
man.
Okay, yeah.
I think nanny's nicer than maid, so I
Yeah.
just say nanny.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's a crazy, crazy thing, and people love it because they're famous. We feel like we know them, because they're in the movies, and I think that's the big trick is like these ladies unveiled, they lifted the veil of the Hollywood magic. And dude, truly, the studios, I forgot to mention this, in the clause, they had like a phrase for it of like morality, like when you signed your contract,
Right.
like you had to uphold. I feel like kind of pro athletes have this. I mean, this is a little bit more insane, like the Trevor Bauer stuff that's going on. Of like, he still swears, he's active in social media, been like, I don't do this, like totally wrong. I'm like, something's going on. Like MLB didn't levy you like a 2-year or whatever, how many games it is, like 600 game ban for like nothing. Like if they've seen some tapes and some footage, like
It's some psycho shit.
he did some psycho shit, dude. Like, but then again, that's moralistic, and who knows what's consensual? I don't
we
know.
have to,
I don't know.
it's like it's always going to be a little bit hypocritical and feels like a little bit outside of what humans should be like dictating or judging on, but like we have to have some kind of like moral compass that we all kind of agree on. Like,
For sure.
And he's way too far outside of it.
I think it needs
Regardless
to be.
of like some of the surrounding details, I think it's just too psycho.
Dude, I agree with that. Like, okay, Jesus is the main figure, but I'm like, dude, we can't be Jesus. That's like God's son, right? If you're a believer and stuff.
For
But
sure.
like John McClane, dude. Like, if we can all be John McClanes, like that's our moral standard. Like,
How'd
let's
you-
go,
Why John McClane?
dude. He's the best. He's on a mission. He's off duty, so he's obviously automatically going above and beyond.
Right.
He's out of his jurisdiction. He's taking out terrorists who are bad dudes, and he's doing it for love, dude. He's there to get his wife. They're not broken up in it, right? They're just like
They're
on a
on the
break.
fritz.
Yeah.
He's going back to get the woman he loves back because he knows he messed up. So he's seeking forgiveness.
And he says things that are not right,
He says "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker." He's got good lines.
but his
And-
heart's in the right place.
Exactly, and he's not larger than life. Like I would say, Dwayne the Rock Johnson, but he's too jacked. It's too much. It's too commercial.
Well, that's the thing is like Dwayne in Jungle Cruise, the movie. It just him making out with someone was weird to me.
Bro,
He's
dude,
almost transcended being a human.
it's not. There's no
Yeah,
sexuality.
you'd like if he was
Yeah.
making out with like one of the Najee or whatever from Avatar, that would make more sense.
Totally.
Dude, 100%, dude.
Yeah.
You'd be like, yeah, that's a more likely match.
Yeah.
If you made out with that gorilla in Rampage, you know, you'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's like the same level of strength.
If he's in Avatar and they like put him in the Avatar thing, but he's still just the Rock in the Avatar world. It's just him. He's like,
He
this
just
is
turns
my
into more
Avatar.
of himself.
Yeah.
Like a blue streak in his hair. Like that's all that he gets.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
I would be pretty
hilarious.
psyched if I went into the Avatar thing and I came out as The Rock. I'd be like, this is kind of best case scenario.
Bro,
That would be so fun.
This is what I'm saying, dude. And now we're getting out of it a little bit. Look, we got the history. We're cutting it up. We're fleshing it out. Fucking, let's go, baby.
Mellower vibes are a moment away with Dadgrass, dude. They'll take you back to a time when the music was on vinyl, dude. Books were bought in a store, and hipsters were a style of jeans, dude. And to celebrate the passage of time, they are doing a special collab with George Harrison's estate to mark 50 years since All Things Must Pass album, dude. And I'll tell you right now, dude, I'm fired up on that. I love little George Harrison. Do a little, here comes the sun, did it. I mean, I don't even know if that's off that album, but I'll tell you what, I'm fired off George Harrison.
It's not. It's a Beatles song.
Okay,
It
okay.
is George.
That's George singing it, though?
Yeah.
All right,
He
dude.
wrote it.
That's what I'm talking about. Aaron just being an absolute ledge right there. And also, dude, I'm glad that the sun popped up for Aaron today because I almost murdered him on a golf course. And thank goodness I did have my Dadgrass with me, so I stayed mellow because that's what I like to do. I like to take the pre-rolls, dude. I like to join them out there on the course with the boys, dude. Just have fun, dude, and get that nice little CBD going, dude. Nothing too crazy, dude. Just nice little mellow buzz. That little glass of wine, not the whole bottle. You know what I'm saying, dude. And I'm especially fired up, dude, that Dadgrass is teaming up with the George Harrison estate, dude. They partner with them to create a new CBD and CBG blend called and accessories called All Things Must Grass, which pays tribute to the man who always let the good times roll, dude. So all Dadgrass products are federally legal for ages 21 and over, and it ships right to your door anywhere in the U.S., dude. So whether you're looking for a new buzz or a chill way to enjoy an old favorite, Dadgrass will leave you in a euphoric mood for sure, dude. So right now, Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/dank. Go to dadgrass.com/dank for 20% off your first order. That's dadgrass.com/dank.
The metaverse. I've been talking about
Yeah.
the metaverse a lot lately.
I've talked to some comics who are like in the metaverse already.
Dude, I think, why not? Like, people are against it. Like, what are we worried about?
I'm worried about it.
What's it
It's
feel
the
like?
Matrix.
Yeah, but bro, do we love our lives that much?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. What are you talking
I'm saying,
about?
like, the main
Yeah, get it,
majority of
Chad.
everyone.
Chad,
You
get
want
it.
to
I know you're the
go
Stoke
in
Lord.
the virtual world?
This
Okay,
is
look,
great.
all I'm saying is this.
These two never argue. This is great. Go,
Baby,
let's
baby.
go.
It's insane.
I don't know if a threesome's not in the cards for me. In
Why are
real
you
life.
saying
that?
such things?
I'm
Why
not
would
going to
you
have a
say that?
threesome.
You could totally have
You
a
don't.
threesome.
Yeah.
Not with that
What do you?
attitude.
Yeah. What?
Not that like we're all like such cool guys, but like I mean, dude, you're a charming, handsome, funny guy, and
Look, I
you have a
appreciate
good
that.
relationship. You do some communication. You meet the right person. You have a couple dinners. You find out if
I'm
you're on the
fired
same
up.
wavelength.
All right, but
Yeah.
look, you guys are good. You guys are good bros, having my back like that. But I'm saying is that the majority of us, you know, it takes a lot to have a threesome. What does it take? You got to be charming. You got to be sexually.
I think you're
You
setting
really
setting
gotta
the
be able
bar
to
way
have it.
too high. I think. I
You
mean,
think they're handing out threesomes like that?
well, I think you got it.
Really?
It's the power of intention.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried?
I'm saying for the masses, okay? And
No,
this is
every
making me sound.
person can do it. Every person can have a threesome.
Okay, look, you know what? Yeah, I do think that.
And let me,
but I also think in the virtual, if you get in the metaverse, you definitely can.
But let me.
That's where you were going.
You definitely can.
But let me counter with this. In the metaverse, yeah, you can have a threesome.
For sure.
But you didn't earn it, and isn't that the whole point of having?
That's
like
beautiful.
when you earn it, it's like, not that I'm not even interested in having one.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Right.
even want that. You're
No.
very
I couldn't
monogamous.
handle it, dude. I couldn't handle it.
If I took Viagra, I could do it.
I think you would be great at it.
I think I would be too, but I'd have
Yeah.
to take Viagra. The pressure would get to me.
For
so.
sure.
Well, yeah, I'm too much of a pleaser. I think I don't know if I'd.
I think that's a
be
good
able-
way to be in a threesome.
No, but I'd worry too much about giving.
You'd
the
have
other
to-
person not getting enough attention.
You'd have
Right.
to be like, you know how Irvin Johnson turns into Magic Johnson for basketball games? Like he has to put on like the
Yes.
Iron Man outfit basically and be a different version of himself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You gotta like, you're not Chad Kroger, you're Chad X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you're a different dude when you're doing
Beyonce
But-
has Sasha Fierce. You need to be like.
You need an alter ego.
Yes.
I think I need to put on shades,
Wear sunglasses. That's all you need.
Yeah.
put on a kimono.
You know what? You're right. Don't put on metaverse goggles. Put on just some sick pair of regular shades, and
Yeah.
then you can fucking.
Just oil my body.
Yeah.
I do agree with Chad too. Like if my friend came up to me and was like, "Hey man, I had a threesome," I'd be like, "That's amazing."
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, "I did it in the metaverse." I'd be like, "Shut up."
You're
I'm
right.
like, why did you not lead with that?
Yeah.
I'm not. I still want to hear about it. It's interesting, but
Yeah.
it's not the same level of accomplishment. Not
Yeah.
that threesome. I don't know.
Maybe
yeah.
threesome's not the best example. Maybe it's like using a lightsaber, like or tech that's not available yet. Like that could be sick.
I'll give you that. I think if you can go in the metaverse and use a lightsaber, that's sick.
That's
But
tight.
I think what's cool about the world we live in is that you can achieve really cool things and create really cool things, and do that in this world, this reality
Yeah.
is so much more.
But maybe there's an age limit. Like if you're 35,
Why
Can you
you're
still
about
get
to-
after it?
Aren't you gonna be 35?
that's
in
why
like
I'm
2
saying that.
weeks?
That's why I'm saying that.
So what do you want to do that you haven't
It's
done?
in my dome.
What do
dude.
you what do you want to do?
I
that
want
you
a
haven't
bone
done?
with 2 lightsabers, dude, and I want my bro there with me, dude. That's how I
Alright,
imagine.
Do that in real life.
Could be sick.
Look, okay, maybe
Those
it's not
sharper image
maybe it's not
lightsabers are
2
sick.
lightsabers. Maybe you end up with 2 like, Japanese samurai swords or 2 broadswords if you have the delta
Still
strength
cool.
to hold those up. Yeah, it's not exactly what you wanted, but it's in the ballpark.
We went to Stratter's apartment. And you have the metaverse goggles on and 2 like lightsabers, and you're just humping air. You're just
I feel like your fiance would be down for a threesome too.
She's definitely more sexually advanced or adventurous than I am. Like what we went to Thailand, and she's like, "Should we like get a shame like the full moon festival, like bone in front of a shaman?" And I was like, "I can't do it, dude." I was like, "I can't." Bone
You
in
could
front of a
totally
shaman,
do it.
dude. No, dude. I like to bone just.
What-
Actually, the doors were
I-
open
I-
by accident when I did that. I didn't really want.
partner. Try to sell it to someone else. Dude.
sounds like you need to embrace an alter ego.
Dude, I do need to embrace an alter ego. I
Yeah,
think you're right.
Yeah.
I think there's a healthy amount of an alter ego is good. You know.
Yeah, I'm not saying live as that guy all
Yeah.
the time. I'm just saying if there's a shaman around and you got a bone, you probably
That's
gotta
true.
Step outside of yourself a little bit.
And you know what? I do need to embody that thing of, hey, look, I'm in Thailand on vacation. Let's have a little fun. Let's loosen up.
It's a good memory, and it'll make you guys closer because
It's
that's
true.
like a fun thing you do. I've never done anything like that, but like our friend, I won't say his full name, but our buddy went to Burning Man.
No, it's a gossip podcast. Say it. No, I'm kidding. Don't say it. Don't say it.
He went to Burning Man and had sex like in a tent with a bunch of other people around. But I always remember it. Like it's such an interesting story, and he did it with his girlfriend. They were like really close and
That's
like
cool.
have a good relationship and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I do hear you. It is scary, but I don't think we should be afraid of things. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like it's better
sure.
to do it and then see how you feel afterwards. But
And be comfortable with
maybe
the
not.
boundaries,
Maybe
too.
not.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right because I used to be scared of doing things because in my mind I would always be like, oh, what are my parents gonna think of this? Like kind of like this sort of like
Mhm.
Catholic, even though I'm not Catholic, but that kind of like judgmental
For
thing.
sure, for
but
sure.
but then having that perspective of like, oh, this will be a cool story, really shifts how you just view how you engage in experiences in life. I think.
Totally, and especially if it's like between people who are on the same page. You know, you don't want to
Yeah.
like push your partner into something or like hurt somebody else. Like I'm not saying like kill someone. That's a good
No.
story.
Yeah.
But like in
it
that-
would be a good story though.
That is a good story. But there's like a 10 or 15% range that's outside your comfort zone that I think is like a safe place to accelerate into.
100% agree. I think the best baseline example is like someone's always trying to get me to try sushi. I ended up trying sushi from my dank ass fiance, and I love it. But I was
How
like,
old were you when you tried sushi?
oh, I was probably like 25. I'm a steak and potatoes guy, baby. Give me them steak, give me them potatoes.
You know what? Maybe not. Maybe you shouldn't
have.
have sex in front of a shaman.
There's no way I could do it. There's just no way. I mean, you said it, and I was like, cool. But I'd show up at the place, and I'd be like, I don't know, my arm hurts. I banged my elbow hard. I gotta go home. I had an injury would happen. But like fucking, you know what you like sometimes too. That's the thing. Is like
That's the other thing.
challenge yourself. Be living on the edge a little bit, but
Know who you are.
yeah.
I
And
think you need to kill someone.
I think so too. I think I think
That
I
would be
do.
cool.
Dude. Oh, dude, here we go. That's our helicopter filing buddies, dude. We got our pods on.
Dude,
I mean, dude,
wait, but to circle back, can I say my favorite piece of gossip from Us Weekly?
I think this is a great way to close it out because we're getting close to our time, so this is beautiful.
They got gossip from oftentimes from celebrities' friends, And I remember one time there was one. It's mean, but I still remember it. Zach Braff, I guess, was being a real man about town, dating a lot, and the article was just saying what a douche he was for doing that. And it was one of his friends anonymously, but it said close buddy of Zach Braff said, he's acting like he's Brad Pitt. Let's be serious. He's no fucking Brad Pitt. But one of his boys said that to Us Weekly. They were so annoyed
dude.
by how much his ego had expanded that they were like, dude, I got to talk to the newspaper to put this dude in his place.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it cracked me up.
Dude, yeah, you can't be betraying the boys like that, but also maybe if they tried first, a lot of times, how do we get through to this guy, dude?
He must have been being pretty annoying. And it was
Yeah.
just accompanied with all these photos of him outside of clubs, getting girls' numbers and stuff. And it didn't look great for whatever reason. I just looked at it. I was like, oh, that doesn't look cool.
Yeah.
And then his friends were just trashing him in the article, being like, he thinks he's like Casanova. Guy's a dork.
Just listening to the shins. Also, there's dudes' game that's cool. We had a dude in high school who had the cool, most mellow game. You didn't even his game worked on the bros too. He'd be like, let's just go play basketball, and you're like, dude, I love this guy. And
Yeah.
he wasn't forcing or changing anything about him. Dudes who have to change to run game, it's all right, dude.
That's always
come
uncomfortable.
on, bro.
Yeah, John Daniels. I used to like listening to him hit on people.
Yeah.
I'd be like, this is great. This sounds awesome. And I just sit there and nod my head and be like, what a legend, dude. But then some friends, they change and they're like they get that quiet, kind of handy thing where they're like,
Oh, the worst,
so
bro.
what's up? And then you're like, you don't sound like
Or
that.
too much nagging, oh, do you? Or so what do you mean by that then?
Yeah,
I'm like,
Jeff.
Shut up, dude.
Jeff does that.
Bro, yeah, dude. Oh, well then what? And you're like, dude, literally any statement any girl would make, do you really believe that about that? Because this? You're like, what is going on, dude? Cut your dick
She'd
off
be like, I'm
to
from
making you do that.
Topeka, and he'd be like, oh, okay, Topeka.
Yeah,
And you were like,
exactly.
what?
Dude, nothing's clever about what you're saying,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, that was upsetting.
Yeah, fuck Jeff, dude.
And the hard part was it worked.
That's the worst part, and he's a good-looking dude. It's
Very handsome
shit.
guy.
And yeah,
Is this a real Jeff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not that close.
Quarterback,
It's
yeah.
all right. I like him.
Yeah.
Just saying this. It's fine.
And he was a quarterback, dude, so that's chill too, dude. All right, bros. This is fucking awesome, dude. Thank you guys so much for coming on, cutting it up, and fleshing it out, dude. Here at the W Pool, I mean,
This is sick.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
sick.
so rad.
Wait, do you guys have a favorite piece of goss?
Yeah, that's a good call. We got a little bit of time, Jake. We can kick it, right? Okay, chill.
Yeah. Favorite piece.
Let's see.
Or what was your favorite big celebrity news story? We didn't even talk about the Chappelle one. Does that count?
This one that just came up, that just happened
That
at
he
the
got
festival.
tackled?
Pretty crazy, right? I mean, dude, they literally took that dude's arm off and returned it to him. I
Dude.
saw that photo. I was like, holy shit, dude.
I couldn't stop laughing at the video of them just stomping him.
So
So
gnarly.
And
dude.
then there's articles coming out which I support of Kevin Hart and people being like, he had to get the shit beaten out of him to send a message.
I think so too.
yeah.
I think
It is
it's nice
draconian.
we're all on board for the stomping.
I mean, yeah.
So funny, man.
They beat his ass pretty hard, dude. It was gnarly, dude. But, dude, you can't be running up on stage, dude.
No.
And Jon Stewart beat his ass too.
That was the gossip
No
that
way.
I wasn't sure if I was gonna say. We heard
Jon Stewart did?
we might have
Stomping
to
him.
we might have to cut this, but we heard from an inside source.
No, Chappelle says it on stage.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
All right,
good.
staying in then, baby.
Jon Stewart was in on the stomping, which is amazing.
That's unreal.
I
dude.
called Chad yesterday and we just laughed about it for 5 minutes. Just picturing Jon Stewart just kicking someone.
Dude. Yeah, I think.
Protecting his buddy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Chappelle said something he's like he said something about it gets serious when Jon Stewart has to step in and stomp a dude.
Big time, dude.
Dude, I know some gossip that just cracked me up. I can't remember any from the 2000s era, but my favorite thing is Jared Leto at the start of the pandemic. We talked about this. He he didn't know it happened. He didn't know that COVID had happened for like 2 weeks because he was at a silent retreat.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
He comes back and he's like, "What's up?" Dude, we saw him at a party one time and he's wearing like Gucci pajamas and like a sombrero. I was like,
He was
What'd
beautiful.
you do?
Yeah, when he left and they rolled him back into his cryogenic chamber and just rolled him out of the party.
dude, yeah,
He was only outside of it for like 20 minutes.
yeah.
Keeping himself pristine.
Dude, they carry him around by helicopter. Actually, he gets in the cube and then it just takes off and he's just flying around and stuff and then melt him. And
He might be worst case scenario for a 3-way. If it was going to be with another guy and a gal, and I didn't know who the guy was, and she's like, "Hold on, my buddy's coming over, Jared," and then Jared Leto walked in, I'd be like, "I'm not fucking doing this, dude."
You'd almost hope it was the other Jared.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
No.
serious, dude.
You don't want that. You don't want any Jareds involved in anything sexual, dude.
I'd just be too intimidated.
No Jareds.
Well, you know I'm a big Subway guy.
Bro, dude.
Okay, so if you had to have a 3-way with another celebrity guy,
Who would it be?
Who-
Good
Oh, that's a
question.
great question, dude.
and if you want to get on this too,
This
welcome.
this is why, dude. I love that type of shit.
No, okay.
All right, another celebrity guy.
I think Paul Rudd would be cool.
Yes. Yeah, honestly, dude. Yeah, bro. I think everyone would choose Paul Rudd.
He's like good looking. It wouldn't be like an eyesore, but also he's not like. He seems like chill, you know.
I would choose Viggo Mortensen, his character from Eastern Promises.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I would be his
He's got a
weird
big
mob
dick.
boss guy.
Oh,
in
Vincent
that-
Cassell who makes him fuck in front of him. Yeah, that's your alter ego. That's what you need to tap
I need
into.
to be dude,
Tap
just
into your
Vincent.
Vincent Cassell, dude. Yeah, I don't know who else. I'm trying to think like of like curly-haired people. I don't know. I want the other guy to be curly-haired too.
It's tough.
I think Paul
Not
Rudd's a
Albert
really
Brooks.
good choice, dude.
Yeah, maybe I'll stick with.
It's a
Rudd.
really good choice. He's good looking and he's got great vibes. Everyone loves him. He can work with everyone.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise would be good. Dude, Keanu
He'd be
Reeves would
weird
be
as
cool.
hell, huh? Tom Cruise would be weird.
Tom Cruise would be
as
too weird,
I
dude.
think so.
We should start a rumor. At
The
end of this
warm up
podcast.
alone.
We're starting a rumor,
Dude,
That
Yeah.
I was in a 3-way with Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves.
Let's see how far it can go.
just them two.
Yeah.
Just them two.
Dude, what about Harrison
You g-
Ford?
Yeah, prime Harrison Ford and Harrison
Three-
Ford now.
Prime Harrison.
I don't know about Prime. He feels like he's like, oh, all right, Dave. He was
He'd be grumpy about it. He'd be like,
all right,
"Get over
all
here,
right,
move.
yeah.
All right, we got to take care of this."
Get off
And
my bed.
he's got his earring. Dude, he's like, watch the earring.
Dude,
Careful, don't grab
He's
at
a
the
very
earring.
grumpy guy.
He
Yeah.
has an earring.
But you could probably bone in his Cessna. That'd
Dude,
be cool.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool, yeah.
Dude, he flies rescue missions. What a-
That's so dope.
Oh,
that's
I-
good gossip.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, gossip can be good, dude. Like gossip, you can use it for good. Like you can spread, like someone did that. Like if you have integrity and you hook someone up with something and you didn't want to say it, like an anonymous donor, or you'd be like, oh, I know who did that. They did that. Then you have their back.
Dude, you know who I'd be in a 3-way with? Is Bruce Willis
Oh, here we
in the
go.
Armageddon era.
Yeah, Harry
Harry
Stamper.
Stamper.
Yeah, Harry Stamper. And Harry Stamper drills. So I think that's a great call. He
lot
never
of good
misses his
Bruce
death.
Willis love.
He never misses his step.
He never misses.
He
his
never
depth.
misses his mark. Yeah, I do Bruce Willis in Sixth Sense. Just a dead guy.
I think the worst guy is Jared Leto. I think you're right.
It'd be so intimidating, right?
Willem
'Cause, like,
Dafoe would be really wrong energy, but I love him as an actor. But just his face. Peter Parker.
Willem Dafoe's O face. Yeah. Oh.
He'd nut.
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins would be not a guy I'd want
He's
to be in a
intense.
threesome with.
Yeah, we're picking intense.
Paul
guys.
Dano.
Oh, never Paul Dano.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix would be weird too.
Oh, yeah. Really weird energy.
Dude, Russell Crowe would be cool. I think.
Would love
He'd be
Russell
great.
He'd
Crowe.
bring like
Russell Crowe would be-
nachos.
Yep.
Yeah, he'd have like a big beer when he walked in.
Yeah,
Like,
he'd
what
be
are we
like-
doing? Let's put on the Aussie football rules match in the background. I'd be like, that's
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah.
We ordering room service or what?
Chris Hemsworth would be cool.
He'd be cool as fuck.
Yeah, he'd be like trying to he'd be checking his like whoop score during it. Though.
Yeah.
He'd be optimizing.
Yeah, he'd be like my strains at a 7.
I'm only doing this
right now.
threesome because I need to I have so much sex that I'm just optimizing it right now. This is just better.
And we have to be done by 11. I have to get 8 hours tonight, or I'll be rusty tomorrow.
Exactly.
Robert Downey Jr. would probably just make sarcastic comments the whole comments. the whole
Yeah.
He'd
time.
be a little
Yeah.
quippy.
He'd be like, "That's how you fuck." He'd be like, "I
Cool.
guess so."
Great. Yeah. All right. I guess we're gonna have sex now. Okay.
Okay.
Great. Great. All right.
John Favreau. He'd
I
be
like
good.
him. I like John Favreau from Rudy. Good
Vince
bro.
Vaughn seems like he'd be a good teammate in it, but our size differential. He's like 6'5".
Yeah.
Tim Allen seems like he'd be supportive.
He'd be cool.
He'd be like, ho, 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 ho.
guy-
You're getting in there, huh? And he'd be like, yeah, dude. I brought some tools.
What's his name from Breaking Bad? Cranston.
No
Really?
way.
I like Cranston.
Too intense.
You're right.
But he is a guy's guy.
Yeah.
You wanted to be a guy's guy. You wanted someone who's like is good at hanging.
Yes. Tom Hardy. You like Tom Hardy, but he's
Hardy.
kind of too intense.
I think he's weird.
Yeah.
There was a good article about Mad Max. I guess him and Charlize Theron really didn't get along on set. It's good goss if you want to read the oral history of it.
See, that's
What were
nice.
they beefing over?
Everything. I guess Charlize Theron. Basically, it sounds like Tom Hardy was wrong. Like Charlize Theron's like really professional and was like on set, on time, wanting to get it done, wanting to get it in one take. And Tom Hardy was like more moody and like would like disappear from set or like be in a bad mood in takes and like. But that was like his process. But when you read it, you're like, I think
Professional is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're in
exactly.
Qatar shooting where it's a fucking billion degrees and the temperature swings a million. It's like, all right, bro, put yourself in check. This is a team effort here.
It's a job.
Like, I get you're a main star in the movie, but actually she's the main star,
Yeah.
Furiosa. So come on, bro.
And I think he acknowledged that he was being immature.
Yeah.
Which is half the battle.
Dude, I would bone with Vin Diesel in a three-way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, for sure,
Have
he's
a couple-
family, bro.
Have a couple Coronas.
Yeah,
He'd write a poem about it afterwards.
that'd be sick as hell.
And he'd do an Instagram
Both be
video.
wearing sleeveless tees.
He'd be like, by this three-way with this guy and his dick.
That's a great poem. Is there anything, dude? I had this guy I met who's in the Navy showed me his poem the other day.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when someone shows you
whoa.
their poem, you're just
Yeah.
like,
Whew.
it's too vulnerable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I showed you a poem in college one time.
That was your roommate's though, right?
No, I lied. It was mine.
No, what?
No, I showed you one of his, but I also sent you one of mine.
Oh, yours was great. Yours was funny.
Thank you.
It was a riff on like J. Alfred Prufrock or something like
yeah,
that.
exactly.
No, it was good. Yours was really good. I
Thank
showed
you.
that to like friends, and they were like, "This guy's a beast."
Dude,
yeah.
thank you. Yeah, Joel's like, he's writing his lyric. I was like, dude, you gotta read this.
It was pretty hilarious.
That's gossipy. That's probably the worst gossip I've been. Like, dude, read someone's poem or read someone's journal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good, goss.
Legends, bro. Thank you guys so,
So
much.
fun,
This was
man.
fucking
Thank
rad,
you.
dude.
This is
Thank you so much. Chad
Hell
and
yeah.
JT, thanks for Netflix is a joke. Jake, legend, bro. Thank you so much. Let's go hit this pool party.
All right, let's
Let-
rage.